unfortunate in my book. Good holding off by Reece James there. So we've got 3 games live for you on Sporty TV, live and free on Sporty TV. In this round of 16. Tomorrow is Paris Saint-Germain against Inter Miami at 1600 GMT. Can't wait for that. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And on the 1st of July, Real Madrid against Juventus. And it's the same time slot as this, 1900 GMT, 8 Western, 10 Eastern, 9 South African Standard Time. Also the Sporting News crew every day during the Club World Cup at 3 p.m. SAS, you can get all the latest news of the competition. And also overnight, the CONCACAF Gold Cup, live and free for you on Sporting TV. Over here, Dion Cucurella. Obviously, you can double screen now and go to the Sporting TV YouTube and watch England, Germany, if you want, but, you know, we've got this for you as well. Good run forward there by Cucurella from a deep position. The pass obviously was overhead, but good energy from the Spaniard on a day that will be energy sapping. Alright, so yeah, it's another warm day, humidity 59%.
It's gonna be a quick one.
What was the percent chance for the thunderstorms again?
Thank you for tuning in.
Don't
forget to like and subscribe.
I'd say it's 50-50, so fingers crossed. I'll be okay. The first knockout match of this Club World Cup has gone to extra innings.
And feel free to join in, man, like, join in.
And it was, having worked on the Copa Libertadores for a decade, it was kind of a typical all Brazilian affair. It was reasonably tight. Worth pointing out Botafogo's keeper was man of the match, John, which says a lot. But saying that Anatoly Trubin was man of the match, wasn't he, for Benfica's win against Bayern, so he was kept busy too. And they had a few, they hit the post, they had a beauty that was ruled out for an offside against Kane. Benfica did well to win it, they did well to win the group. Whether this is the time they would have chosen themselves for the last 16, I'm not sure. Palmer. Oh, that was dangerous. He was crying out for a touch home, right in front of goal, which never came. First time they've managed something like that in the match.
Easy Productions can work the camera for Real Madrid.
Because he did so well to deliver that cross into the 6-yard box, but nobody really gambled and made the run to try and get that touch to finish it. Smart ball, Enzo Fernandez, who scored the opening goal of the tournament against LAFC. Cucurella never tends to shoot much, does he? Fernandez certainly does, though.
Afridi, come on, one more right there. Just getting on.
Keeping the pressure up. That's possible from their point of view. Good work by Otamendi. Very good luck against his former teammate to deny Enzo Fernandez second corner of the game now for Chelsea. But again, just Otamendi using his experience and positional play really well. Short by Caicedo. Bit of space for Lavia in the middle. It's hit well beyond him, and it's hit well beyond Cornwell.
Shit, alright, let's go.
That's the sort of thing that can have a coach cheering his hair out, if he has any. Sporty bet onto us. Chelsea 2.05 to win. Benfica 3.85. The draw is 3.3. Betting for over 18s only. And as always, can't stress it enough. Please, please, please bet responsibly. Decent pace to this game so far, though. Possession slightly in Chelsea's favour.
1, 2, 3.
In terms of expected goals, it's flat 0 for Benfica. Chelsea haven't even hit a James Bond yet. Here's Pedro Neto, clever ball, Delap, angle tie. Cucurella, good control, off the line.
1.
What a chance, I think it was Darwin was there. But Chelsea so close to the opening goal. They look to have done everything right. Caicedo. Short from Badiashile. Silva in the right place to get it away. On by Reece James. Lavia. Delan. Challenge from behind was fair, according to Slavko Vincic. And held up by Arsnes. Well, nobody's managed to get long Floyd moves together yet. Palmer. Oh, he went for it directly. Trubin, a strong-handed save, but Chelsea are going full tilt.
They're turning the screw now, Will. Really good save there by Trubin to deny Cole Palmer. And before that, Cucurella is so unlucky. He did everything right, put it in the postage stamp. And Antonio Silva with the header off the line celebrated the clearance as if he'd scored at the other end. It's brilliant defending by the Portuguese international, but Chelsea starting to look a little ominous.
Put down a little bit here. Pedro Neto's going to take the corner kick. What we said about expected goals barely a minute ago, you can throw that out the window now. Clever by Neto. Would have backed the same way. Caicedo playing it through. Cucurella, good cross. Frederick Arsnes away. Caicedo. Now Cole Palmer seeing options open. Beautiful ball. Glorious Antonio Silva among those back, and Cucurella's foul is Benfica's free kick. Bringing Sheldon down.
No chance for Benfica to catch their breath after a couple of really good chances for Chelsea. Such a clever pass from Neto to Delan. And Cucurella stayed calm, picked his spot. Wonderful defending though from Silva. Right man in the right place for Benfica.
Was about to say Bruno Lage not panicking, but that reaction says otherwise. Trubin, brilliant narrow angle save to keep out. A vicious shot by Palmer. Chelsea are getting the major chances now. Pavlidis. Foul just on the edge of the pitch.
I think Bruno Lage is going to be looking for more from his midfield, from the likes of Florentino, Kutsu and Pereiro, who haven't really managed to get their foot on the ball and establish any kind of possession for the Eagles.
Liverpool forward, taken by Angel Di Maria.
It's a close one, I'm not sure. Well, the flag has gone up, so he must have been offside, but it was a narrow one.
So he's supposed to go offside if he's very offside, so, yeah. It's 17 years since he scored the winning goal in Beijing at the Bird's Nest against Nigeria in the Olympic Games final. A team with Messi, not just Messi, it was a star-studded lineup. And largely all went on to great things. And a repeat of that against Brazil in the 2021 Copa America final. But home is beckoning. He'll hope not tonight. As soon as Benfica's tournament is done, he's back home to his club of his youth, Rosario Central in Argentina. You'll still be able to see him though. Copa Libertadores among the fine fare on Sporty TV. Arsnes was open down the near side. It's another free kick, another foul of Shelter up. This really talented young Norwegian. He's 21 and he scored the winner in the League Cup final earlier this year to defeat Sporting in the Lisbon derby in that decider, and obviously the winner against Bayern in recent days for their first ever win against the perennial Bundesliga champions, almost perennial.
Needless foul for James to give away there. There was no threat at all out by the touchline on the far side. It's given a free kick to Benfica. And they have players who can do damage in the area. The likes of Hadmidis there, Otamendi, very good in the air, and Silva likewise. Very high defensive line.
Oh, that was ambitious. Ha, no doubt about it. Sanchez was not caught out though. That had to be the intention.
An entertaining game though, first 25 minutes.
Benfica with only one loss in the last 16 in all competitions. Chelsea, 10 wins in the last 12. Lots of clean sheets in that time as well. Towards the end of the campaign, Maresca was getting things in line. Crept into the Champions League places, finishing in fourth spot, but still a long way behind Liverpool.
I think they'll be hoping the arrival of Delap, maybe one or two others, could be the key.
Be claimed here by Truven.
Chelsea with 4 efforts on goal so far, 3 of them on target. Benfica yet to have a shot on target. They had that one half opportunity for Pavlidis, which was very well defended by Badiashile. But it's Chelsea on the stats front who are doing better.
It's Benfica's first ever out-and-out Club World Cup. They did play in the former Intercontinental Cup, beaten in both finals. They were home and away affairs, long distance home and away affairs. They lost the 1961 final to Peñarol, beaten in both legs by Santos in 62. Pelé with a hat-trick, the only hat-trick ever in the history of those one-off finals. Those for the only 2 Champions Leagues that Benfica won. The European Cup as well, indeed. Barcelona and Real Madrid in back-to-back finals. 5 finals since then and lost them all. Even on penalties to PSV, which was Kusinic's big breakthrough as a manager. Lost only by a goal to nil to the great Milan team of Muller, Rijkaard and Baston in 1990. What made it even worse for them was Porto had won the competition around the same time, but they couldn't. Have a little chip, Cucurella just too high. Reece James very smart though, lovely ball.
Not a great example though of Cucurella getting forward down the left-hand side, getting into the area and causing problems for the defenders. It was just fractionally too high for him, but he found himself in a very, very good advanced position there. Marc Cucurella.
Decent close control by the man who rescued Benfica earlier, Antonio Silva. Part of the UEFA Youth League side that lifted the trophy in 2022. That was a bit risky by Arsnes. Almost a massive giveaway. Romeo Lavia wading in, the Belgian international. It's a big risk. Got away with it. Caicedo. For Palmer, couldn't control.
Oh, let's go, buddy. 1, 2, 3.
Arsnes will be relieved. Nothing came of that. That was a sloppy ball. Again, another demonstration of the silky defending of Antonio Silva as he cleaned up the danger as Cole Palmer was coming forward. Silva, the diagonal ball forward.
Well replayed by Reece James. Chelsea have got the possession a bit in their favour.
1, 2.
They have lifted the Club World Cup once, beat Palmeiras in the final 5 years ago, and that's who's awaiting in the quarterfinals. They had lost the Corinthians in 2012 in the final by a goal to nil. And we've gone 13 years without a South American side beating a European team, but it's happened a couple of times now, and it has happened to Chelsea here, losing to Flamengo by 3 goals to 1. So we've hit 30 minutes, and this will be a cooling break.
A badly needed one on a warm day in Charlotte in North Carolina. Players will be very glad of the opportunity to take some liquids on board. I think it's important as well for both Bruno Lage and Lorenzo Maresca just to maybe have a word with their troops and reorganise slightly, certainly in terms of Lage's approach, because Chelsea have looked by far the more threatening team in the first half hour of this game. But while it's still 0-0, Benfica very much in the match. They have kept 2 clean sheets in a row now, the 6-0 win against Auckland City and then the 1-0 against Bayern Munich, and that man is shot there. Anatoly Trubin is one of the main reasons for that. He was superb against Bayern Munich. We've already seen him make one very good save to deny Cole Palmer in this match. But Chelsea will feel if it were a boxing match they'd be ahead on points, but 0-0.
They've had the best chances of the game this very early on. Cucurella teeing it up, and well placed on the line was Antonio Silva to get it away. Palmer then within seconds having that narrow angle strike that was well stopped by Anatoly Trubin. Enzo Maresca has seen his side produce the best openings so far, and Bruno Lage, when he was in charge of Wolves, got 2 draws against Chelsea, so he knows how to set up well against them. And in terms of English football, well, Maresca had helped Leicester come on, had been quite successful in charge of Manchester City youths at the start of this decade, and then plucked by Palmer, who sacked him after 6 months and then revived his career in England. Lage had built his coaching career first at Benfica, part of the youth setup for 8 years, then was assistant at Sheffield Wednesday and Swansea City. Returned to Benfica, league-winning coach, then Wolves snapped him up when they were going through that Portuguese phase a couple of years ago. And then Botafogo, he might have had a reunion with them in the quarterfinals, but they're now out, and he's hoping they won't be.
Looked like, just reading his body language there, Lage, that he was looking for more energy from his players, which is easier said than done on a very, very warm day like this.
Well, don't forget, Sporty TV available at Star Times DTT channel 258, DTH channel 190, and the OTT Star Times ON in Nigeria, and via DTT channel 36, and DTH channel 190 in Star Times, and OTT Star Times ON, and multi-TV frequencies in Ghana, and also in South Africa, channel 125 of Overview, and on EVOD. Hope you got that. This is Enzo Fernandez. Ask your TV provider for details. Caicedo, good ball. Got behind him, well did Palmer. But Trubin waiting for it, got down to save. Could have been a bit fiercer, could have been a bit trickier, but at least he had it on target.
Very conventional save that time, all right for Trubin. Cole Palmer, you know, he's capable of scoring 15 goals in the Premier League this season at 37 appearances. Twice now he's forced a save from Trubin.
Long by Angel Di Maria, and it is a lovely, glorious ball. Shoulder up was in a good spot. Dahl combining, but they just got in each other's way. Scrambled communications between the two Scandinavians, and overhit in the end of the search for Palmer. Ooh, that was a bit late. And a bit fruity by Florentino Luis. Hasn't caught the attention of VAR yet.
I think he's got away with it. It was a while ago. No free kick awarded at the time.
Maybe a little bit of treading on the toes. It didn't look like a scandalous enough challenge for me for a red card. Chelsea with a free kick here. Lavia down.
Florentino again the offender. But again, escaping any sanction other than the free kick.
Man who had as one of his first coaches Vincent Kompany, who's still here with Bayern, having finished second in the group behind Benfica. For the rest of the tournament of two quarterfinals, one of the semi-finals, and the final live view on Sporting TV, along with two more of the last 16 games. Month the 26th, we're bringing to you live and free on Sporting TV. James, short for Benoit Badiashile. Caicedo tempted, almost perfect for Palmer. Really well anticipated on the near side. Very smart again by Antonio Silva, who I have to say he's really impressed me. He's been in the last two Portuguese squads, helped them win the Nations League a few weeks ago, reached the quarterfinals of the last two major tournaments, the World Cup in Saudi Arabia and last year's Euros. He's really impressed me tonight. I mean, you watch him most weeks working on the Portuguese league. He's been really handy, Con.
He's very good, and that combination between himself and Otamendi at the heart of the Benfica defence is a really good one. Youth and experience in a way. The youth of Antonio Silva, just 21, and then Otamendi, 37.
The youth of Delap almost worked in his favour. Didn't fall from though. He's certainly keeping Antonio Silva on his toes.
Let's go, boy.
Had an assist on his debut against LAFC for Enzo Fernandez. Apart from that, I thought a lot of what he tried to do in his debut went wrong, but he had the assist and loads of rave reviews as a result of it. And scored against Esperance Tunis. He became Chelsea's youngest ever Club World Cup scorer, but it was only for about 20 minutes because then Tariq George wrapped it up in a 7-minute stoppage time, and at the age of 19 he took that mantle. And they've a very, very nice bench. And 9 goalkeepers in their overall squad. Smart ball up here for Cucurella. Good stop by Trubin. Good save again. Strong from the Ukrainian stopper. He's got in the right place. Chelsea just keep finding little passages through.
And again, it was that man Cucurella on the left-hand side, causing problems for Benfica, not being picked up, finding acres of space there. A wonderful save yet again by Trubin. Hard to believe that he's lost his place in the Ukrainian national side to Luna of Real Madrid. He's been brilliant in this tournament so far, Trubin. Keeping Benfica in this one.
Certainly he's put out a reminder in this tournament how good he is. Pedro Neto, Cucurella getting involved a lot in the final third. Ooh, that's out. Nice little flick by Bruno Lage. He didn't have much of a playing career, unfortunately. Only about 3 years, lower divisions, Praenche and Quinta Kenshek.
I think Arsene Wenger never really played at any kind of a level, and he was a fairly handy manager.
Mourinho.
Indeed.
There's been a few. There's been a lot. That'll be a free kick.
Accidental, but a free kick. Clumsy from Reece James.
It's a quick one. It's a long one. It's almost perfect for Samuel Dahl. And it just ran out. Frustratingly for the Swede. It's a brilliant ball But how about this? Good quick thinking by Romeo Lavia. Cucurella in again. And another tremendous stop by Trubin. He's been fantastic today.
He spreads himself so well, and we saw that against Bayern Munich in the last match as well. Whether he's saving with an outstretched hand or with his boot, as he did a couple of times in that game, he makes himself big and did ever so well there.
Real strong wristed saves. He spread himself out and saved that way a couple of times.
I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Delap, Will, if he is the main man up front. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson is suspended for this game after his red card earlier on in the competition, so Delap is getting the lead attacker role yet again. But over the course of the Premier League season, if they are expecting those 20